that it's kind of sad nowadays that this is what brought me to the conservative side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy too. Like you'll see an American flag in front of someone's house and you can kind of already guess that they're conservative.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me because this is a flag that unites all of us. And now it's being called racist and that it doesn't matter and it's being burned, and that's completely unacceptable.
You know, I talk about this on this show about my truth, right? And when I look around my neighborhood and what I see or what I know to be my own truths, it's nothing like what I see on social media. I mean, I grew up, and I've talked about this on the show, I grew up in a racist household, and that was in 1974 through 80, right? And I left, and that was the end of any racism I've seen in my entire life. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, by the way, but when I look at it on social media, I'm like, that doesn't exist to the level that they're portraying this. And I think that that's unfortunate because there's a lot of great people out there that have passion for other people in life. You know, I work with, I've worked in Mexico the last 20 years, you know, and I love Hispanics, you know, but it's really difficult for me to integrate with that group because of my conservative nature. They would never believe how I feel about them and how I feel about politics. And it's really unfortunate that we've gotten to that point. Do you feel like at your age there's some hope to change this and turn this around?
I think yes, based on the amount of people I see and know that are really getting the message out there, especially with organizations like Turning Point. I've been involved with them for a while now. And when you're actually, like, when you attend the conferences and everything, it's incredible to see the amount of people your age in all their Trump hats, their Trump gear, and whatever. It's just, and then you meet the most intelligent people there, and you ask them how old they are, and they're like, "Oh, I'm 16." That's kind of what gives me hope, if you will. And we could get into this later if that ever comes up, but I'm not a fan of the word hope.
Well, let's talk about it.
Fun fact.
Let's hear why.
Brought this to my attention, and it's something I've stuck by for a long time. I think hope is an expectation based on desire.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always believed that if you switch the word hope in your day-to-day use to the word plan, I think it gives you a better mindset and kind of a stronger goal as opposed to just hoping for something. Because I feel like a lot of people go through their lives just saying, oh, I hope this happens. I hope that happens. Well, instead of hoping, why don't you plan for it to happen and go make it happen?
It's a great point of view. Maybe if Obama was running on that, we would have gotten more done in 8 years, right? So where are you going with all this? I mean, I look at your page, you're passionate. You talked about the events. I see you walking down PCH with your flags and you know, those are the things to me that I'm so impressed with at your age, going, man, I wish I had that fire in my soul when I was that age. I was too busy partying, surfing on PCH where you're, you know, making a political statement. So where's this all going?
For now, it's, especially in a time like now, it is so important to me to stand up to these people and not be in their face in a bad way, but be in their face and be like, look, this is the younger generation. This is what we stand for. And not every kid our age or young adult is going to be voting left. And I have a few goals in the future. I'm not sure which one exactly is what I'm going to be going for yet. I've thought of fixing this because I'm also very strong with telling people don't complain about the world but while doing nothing to fix it.
Right.
So I think if we're going to complain about California, for example, why don't we fix it? So I always make kind of a joke, but also kind of possibly a future plan. If I want to fix the state, I should fix the state. So be someone in politics, maybe be a governor someday, who knows? But really just inspiring, I guess, like you said, the fire inside to want to make a difference in other people because it just continues to grow. And it inspires me to keep moving forward and to take politics further. I'm actually writing a book right now, so that's, of course, inspiring me as well as all these things I'm doing. It's teaching me life lessons and it's teaching me values. And so I think that's super important.
Well, so writing a book,
Mhm.
what's the topic?
So it's kind of like a life lesson, inspiration, motivation kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's rough still. I've been writing it at school a lot lately. I started about, I think, a year and a half ago now. Um, Took a while break, kind of left it alone and didn't touch it, but I've been definitely inspired again to start writing. But yeah, I love to write, and I think if I can someday finish a book to kind of express everything I believe and give people a little point of view and motivation to overcome obstacles in their lives, I think it'd be very fulfilling for me.
Sure. Well, if you do half as good a job with your book as you are with your social media and some of the things that you're working on now, I'm sure it'll be a success. There's something that I wanted to talk about personally on the show today, and you're the perfect person to discuss with it because I'd love to your point of view. You know, a lot of people just have this hatred for Donald Trump.
Yes.
And you know, it's unfortunate. I can see why. You know, he's rough around the edges. He says things on Instagram that people don't want to hear, or Twitter, and that's rough for them. And you know, when I look at him, and by the way, I've done a little bit of business with him back in the day when I was in that industry, when he had a show and everything, and I've met him a few times. You know, he's a business person, and he saw a need and he filled the need to run for president. And I think people kind of forgot about that, but that's okay. I get it. They don't like him. What I want to talk about is we have to look at the policies
Yes, we
of the
do.
candidate and the policies that the Conservative Party represents, and then the policies that the other party is putting in front of us, because I think that is so critical right now. And I think people get lost in their hatred for Trump. They forget to look past him and look at the policies.
That's right. Something I've said for a while now is it's so important. Listen to what's being preached, not who it's being preached by. Because, like you said, the policy is more important than the person. And to be honest, that's something I love about Donald Trump is that he does say stuff that people don't want to hear. He says things that need to be said. And I think what's so great about him is that, unlike a lot of politicians and people in power now, he is a true leader. Um, I think a lot of people have lost sight of what it means to be a true leader.
Yeah.
Because there aren't many nowadays, but a leader is someone who will stand in the front. Like George Washington, he led his army from the front. He didn't sit in the back. There's a difference between a leader and a boss. Trump is a leader. Biden, for example, is a boss. And Trump may be a businessman, but he's still a leader. He leads the country and he makes decisions that need to be made, even if majority of the people that are speaking up don't like it, because sometimes people don't know what they need and things aren't always as great as they sound. For example, free healthcare. Nothing is free. The word free is a feeling, not a price. So like healthcare, like I said, that healthcare is not free to everyone. You might be getting free healthcare, but we're paying for it.
Sure.
But yeah, I think that's definitely my favorite thing about Donald Trump is that he's a leader.
Yeah, you know, and I appreciate that perspective. I've been looking for a businessman to vote for almost my whole life. And I was very quick to make that vote because I just felt like this country needed somebody that was in business to fix a lot of our issues. And you know what's crazy to me as well, and I'd be curious, you know, what your thoughts are. The slogan "Make America Great." What is wrong with that slogan? Because I can't find anything. Like, we live here. As you said, that's our flag that unites us. What is wrong with making America great? And
that's them looking at the preacher, not what's being preached. There's going to be nothing wrong with saying make America great or make America great again or keep America great. You are an American. You are living here. Why would you not want it to be great?
Yeah.
It's inclusive. Contrary to popular belief, it includes everyone. So I don't know.
Yeah. What are some of the bigger arguments you get on campus or you know, out in your neighborhood? I know you're behind the orange curtain there.
Honestly, usually it's just direct hatred between being flipped off, cussed at, screamed at. There's honestly, I haven't gotten truly a valid argument yet.
Mm-hmm.
All I've gotten is the hate and the screaming. So.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, especially coming from places in public for out of nowhere, right?
It is. I'm like getting secondhand embarrassment from you people.
For sure. What did you think about the debate last night?
I thought it was smoother. I think Trump did a very good job. I think he was more mature.
Yeah.
The moderator was a little bit better than the last two. I think Rush Limbaugh would have been a great moderator.
Sure. Joe Rogan would have been fun too.
Joe Rogan would have been a great, yes. We talked about that last night. I had a few people get together. I think he did a great job, and I think I could say confidently he won the debate for sure.
So you just said something that's interesting. You said he was more mature.
Yes.
So here's somebody that you stand behind, you believe in his policies, and you're happy that he's where he's at.
Yes.
Aren't you concerned about his maturity?
Yes, because to people, especially people watching who may not be actually listening to policy, what they're seeing is Joe Biden constantly saying he's addressing the American people. All they're seeing is Trump going crazy. So they're judging his entire character and all that he stands for by his actions at the debate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important for him because he has the right things to say. And I think it's really important for him to be more mature about it. And yes, I do stand behind his policy and I'm happy about where he is, but that is something that I think he can straighten up a little.
Well, I feel the same way as you do, by the way. I'm more embarrassed for his maturity in public than I am for how my level of comfort of him running the country. I have 100% confidence that he's doing a good job. He's the best person for the job right now. He might not be the best person for the job that's out there, but I think most of the really smart, intelligent people don't want the job because it's not a very fun job to have. Clearly, it's been proven the last 3.5 years.
Yeah. I do agree, though. I have full trust in him. But to the media eye and the people who may not exactly understand what's going on, I think that's a super important aspect that he needs to be a little more mature.
What's your prediction on the election?
People keep asking me this question. My prediction, it's really tough to say because I'm one of those people that, like, if I say something, I get worried. I think it looks a lot like 2016 so far, from what I remember at that age. Especially by his rallies and everything. It is crazy to me, the difference and just the pride I see every day, even in California here. It's almost like a no-brainer. I think he has a very good chance.
Would that be incredible if he flipped California?
I know. That's the goal here. Beautiful state.
I just realized on air while you were talking, this is going to be your first time to vote.
Yes, it is. And I have filled out my ballot.
And
I'm not mailing it.
You're not mailing it. You're taking it in person. I was going to ask that. So with that being said, what would you say to all the other females out there about voting and, taking the time to educate themselves?
What I would say is vote for who you honestly want to vote for and don't vote for who everyone is telling you to. And look beyond media. And honestly, woman or man, I'm usually not one to separate that because I think there's no point to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me quantify why I asked you that question. My wife is 32. When we got married, she had never voted before.
Okay.
And I said, why would you not vote? You need to vote. You're a woman that you didn't have the rights to vote for a lot of years, and people fought for you to be able to vote. You have to vote. And now she's all in. She's almost just like you with her politics. Awesome. I just love it. And I'm sorry, that's why I'd asked you, what would you say to other women?
Yeah. just do it. Don't be scared. Like you said, yes, we couldn't vote for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was fought for, and